Welcome back to another XR250 build video. Today we're going to be cleaning up this nasty old swing arm. This thing is all messed up, you guys. And along with that, we have this carburetor from hell. So there's about 10 different problems we got going on in here, and I'm going to do my best to get that thing at least back together and sealed up and hopefully running better than it was before. And I promise this swing arm is gonna come out looking bitchin'. I'm up nice and early today, so it's not too hot out. I'm ready to jump right into this work. So the first thing I wanna do is take this Scotch-Brite and some degreaser or maybe a little gasoline on some of these really bad parts and just knock all that rust off. And then I'll be using some different sandpapers to sand the surface, kind of blend it a little bit, and I'll be painting over it and taping these stickers because I want to keep the stickers looking original. The whole goal of this build is to make everything look original as possible. Look at all the beauties over there. So I did a quick mask off of the decals that I don't want to paint over, and later I'm gonna cut them completely clean with a razor just to make sure that there's not any tape overhanging. But I'm gonna leave it like that for now because next up I'm gonna be sanding this swing arm, and starting with the really bad parts like you see here, I'm gonna be using a 240 grit and then moving up to 400, 600, and 1000. But I'll just be using that 240 on the really bad parts, and 400 and 600 should be good just to kind of rough up the rest of the swing arm. What I want is to have the finish as even as possible so that it doesn't look like it was repainted but actually looks like it came that way. Well, here it is. After a ridiculous amount of work, the swing arm is done. And right now I'm about to peel off the taping and reveal the decals that we had underneath. I'm just really hoping that this tape doesn't peel the old decals off and that the contrast between the old beat up decals and the new paint still looks okay. We're not going for perfection here. It's going to be a heck of a lot better than it was before, so let's check it out. Well, I'll be damned. I'd say that looks pretty darn good. Wow, this swing arm looks absolutely beautiful now. All right, we got this linkage sandblasted quickly, just did a little 5-minute shoot on it, get all the bad rust off. Still a little bit on there, but not gonna be a problem. Now I'm gonna be replacing this lower bearing, or it's actually like a bushing. So it doesn't have a standard bearing with a race in there. None of these bearings are like the motocross. They actually have a sleeve that you can grease from the outside, but this one you actually can't. It's just a solid piece. So I'll show you what the new one looks like. All right, here it is, the genuine Honda OEM part. So this is what it looks like. It's basically a very thin outer race with the inner sleeve just held in there with some rubber. So we're gonna need to push this old one out, push this new one in, but it's got me a little concerned because of how narrow that outer race is. So I'm gonna use heat to help me and just gonna go for it. I should be able to do this using a 21 millimeter and a 14. She's going. Nice and smooth. Almost out. You can feel it. Okay. All right, well, it's coming out. Just got the socket stuck a little, so show you how I'll get that out. So I'll just take this little adapter right here that doesn't quite fit in there. This is a problem. I need an even deeper one. This one's gonna be perfect. That was a 100% success, and it wasn't even a struggle thanks to the heat. Got it generously hot, and that bearing came right out, even though it's been in there for 38 years. All I needed to do this job was the vise. This is your regular old vise from Home Depot. Pair of gloves so you don't burn your hands like I was. Blowtorch and a lighter, and I used this little mini adapter, a 14 socket, a 21 socket, and a 22 deep socket. That's gonna allow you to push this bearing all the way out. Just in case you guys are working on a 1982 XR250. I don't know, probably not. But seriously, the same method applies to almost any bike, especially if it's roached out, all rusted up, seized in there. Heat that sumbitch. Now just taking a quick look at the old bearing. Looks like it did get a little damage to the outer rubber when I pushed it out, but I had to push this out a lot harder than it's gonna be to push this one in, if that makes sense. This isn't gonna need a whole lot of force going in. I might just size up on the 14 and try a 15. That might fix it so that it's not pinching that rubber part, but I probably will have to finish with the 14 just to get this all the way in and flush. You guys will see what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is I think we'll be able to get this in, no problem, and we're not gonna beat it up too bad. Definitely gonna be better than that old one. Okay, I've got this all cleaned out. I just hit it with some Scotch-Brite, a Scotch-Brite pad. So I'm gonna do one more thing, just gonna put a little bit of grease in here, and then we'll be ready to press that new bearing in. 100% success. We got this old junk bearing out, new ones in. Take a look at this. We did not mark up the rubber at all. Still looks completely perfect. No damage putting that bearing in. Just taking it nice and easy, going slow, being careful. So I just have a few things left to do with this part. I'm gonna be cleaning it with this paint prep, getting all the oils and dirt off of this thing one last time, and then I'll be plugging up these holes, getting it ready to paint. We also have a new carburetor over here. Well, it's a new used, obviously. This thing's from 1982. But say goodbye to this piece of and we should be in business now. Got some crazy stuff to talk about actually with this. All right, I know this looks ridiculous, but it's the absolute best way that you could mask off this piece. I feel like the goddamn plug master because this is pretty slick. I'm about to shoot it right now. You guys will see what it looks like after. It's about to look so good. check it out. You guys notice anything besides these two dusty Supermotos? The XR250 is gone. Thank God. So we got Kike's bike all finished up. That's gonna be the next video. I'm gonna be rebuilding the carburetor, or rather rebuilding a new carburetor that I picked up off of eBay, and we're gonna be restoring the plastics on the bike. So this video might not have been the most exciting of the build series, but I guarantee you guys are gonna be really excited with how this bike turns out. It's already done, like I said. We're just fixing a few little details. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the Full Throttle Films content that I will be posting weekly from now on. Just had to take a break. A lot of things I had to get sorted out. I wasn't sure I was gonna keep making videos in 2021, but you know what? Let's just go for it. Got nothing to lose, and I'm investing all I have into this year. Some really cool stuff coming. So make sure you smash that like button and drop a comment just so I know who's still out there watching these. Peace out.